Welcome everyone. It's Danny Haifong here. We are at the Bund in Shanghai. I'm with Dana Showtime Burton back on the show. He is a Shanghai resident, hip hop extraordinaire, and just overall decent, intelligent person who can really tell us about the real China and a good friend. What's up, Dana?
Peace and blessings, brother. So good to see you.
Yeah.
Glad to catch up with you on this trip.
Yeah, it's
And
been amazing.
welcome to your first time at the Bund in Shanghai.
Yeah. This is my first time being able to walk here. I was on the Huangpu River once, but just the boat. I wasn't able to walk the Bund, but it's beautiful. Just look at this. I mean, there's the light show behind us. But I just want to, it's incredible. But look at the people. I mean, what do we hear in the Western media? China is collapsing. China is collapsing. The economy is collapsing. But
Not happening.
There are thousands of people here. Like literally, we were walking here and there's just a flood of people. The tourism is just incredible right now. But Dana, where do we even begin? I mean, let's talk about the real China. Let's talk about also what's on your mind now that, of course, China is a focal point in your former residency, the United States. Now, the United States has this trajectory of aggression and war. It's mired in so many conflicts. And we're here in China, seeing the real China. You're living the real China. What's been on your mind?
Well, that whole shift towards this kind of anti-China negativity has kind of really picked up. And it's very concerning for me. I've always considered myself a bridge builder and a peacemaker. But now more than ever, I'm becoming an anti-war activist. And for a lot of people, when they hear me talking about stop the war in China, like in America, it seems kind of ridiculous. They're like, what war? What's going on? And they see China as a competitor. But we are truly in this era where there's just so much misinformation and hate being dumped on China.
Yeah.
And you coming here just to raise awareness. There's so much work that has to be done to kind of pushing back on this negativity that's really meant to kind of degrade China and lessen people's image of what's happening over here. Like people that are trying to spread this false information that the economy is so bad, that it's slowed down, it's collapsing. There's literally there's probably right now at least 1 million people on the Bund right now on the strip, and this is Monday night. This is a slow night.
I didn't even mention that. This is Monday
This
night.
is Monday on the Bund, 1 million people. We've got 26 million people in the city of Shanghai alone, hustling and bustling, and millions of our tourists come every day from all across the country. And so that's one of the ways. There has been some shifts in the economy. I talked about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of the information that people are getting, I'm not gonna say it's not accurate, but it's grossly exaggerated, and it's one-sided. In the past 20 years, the Chinese economy has grown at like 1,000%. Compared to the United States in that same period, it's like 100%. So it's grown, 10 times the rate as the United States, and it's slowing down. But when you have that level of momentum and there's still growth, there's nothing for you to worry about. Like you can just see, like you're not gonna find anything like this anywhere in the United States of America. Imagine how many cities are you gonna have to combine to get 1 million people out on a Monday night. Everyone has something in their hand, they're buying stuff, they're shopping, the lights are on. So life is good. This is still, one of the fastest growing, most vibrant economies in the world. And I just encourage people to stay tapped in and like yourself, just get over here and connect with people. Don't be disconnected because they're gonna lead you down the wrong path.
Right. I mean, it's so crowded here. We literally have to watch where we're going because I may trip over someone, a child. Like it is that busy here right now. I mean, what's so, I think, frustrating right now is that the United States, where we hail from, is so dedicated. The government, because we have to differentiate. It's the government, it's the politicians, it's the elites. They are so motivated to weaken China, to try to destroy China. But what we're actually seeing is the opposite occurring. We're seeing this vibrancy in China that's continuing, it's consistent. And as you said, Dana, there have been problems. Of course, COVID-19 just shook up the entire world economy. It really hasn't rebounded anywhere. And a lot of the US's conflicts and wars that it's spurring are damaging the world economy as a whole.
Yeah.
And we are witnessing just absolute stagnation in the US, in Europe. Their economies are in tatters. Things are declining. Things are getting really, really bad. And here, while there has been somewhat of a slowdown, you come here and you realize that that slowdown is not a crisis. It is not Gordon Chang's collapse. What you're seeing is still China progressing and moving forward. And I wasn't even expecting this level of activity on a Monday night. I was thinking, wow, we're coming here on an off day, but here we are.
And there's a lot more. I can take you around the whole city if you get a chance and show you like the energy, the excitement, the buzz. This is a thriving economy, and I think that's what puts the fear of God into the military-industrial complex. That's the what I've come to understand has been the number one driver of this kind of zero-sum game attitude. They look at China's economy as a national security threat.
Yeah.
And the military-industrial complex in the United States, their argument is, okay, if the economy's booming, the military is going to be strong. They're going to be able to compete with us.
Right.
We have to stop it. And that's why we hear so much negativity and hate. That's why we don't hear any good news coming out of China, because they can't promote China. They can't promote China's system, because that would undermine, in their mind, America's system.
Okay.
Like, you see another complete different political system, economic system doing better than yours, the last thing you want is for people to know about it or
Right.
look at it as a positive way. And so you're gonna downplay it, you're gonna put a spin on it,
Right.
you're gonna do all these things to kind of contain China, contain their economy, disparage their reputation, and slow it down. But what we've seen is quite the opposite. Like all these efforts that are coming out of the United States in terms of economics, with the tariffs and the trade wars, they're actually backfiring. They're helping China to kind of like fight back and push back and be more independent, and it's not helping the United States in any other way. And so for me, one of the things that's on my mind is I've really been thinking and wrestling with, because I've spent a good 2-3 years kind of sharpening my skills with debating people, debunking facts, and I realize that it's a perpetual, never-ending cycle, because there's always going to be another conspiracy. There's always going to be about whataboutism.
Right.
So now we got to really get down to finding some solutions and educating the American public how people can be informed and what kind of policy decisions and like foreign policy changes do we really want to see, so that we can live peacefully in the world and we don't have to, head towards war with the largest country in the world.
Yeah, exactly. It's as you said, the United States' power structure, its political apparatus, it's the military-industrial complex, which now really is in almost full control. It does view what we are witnessing just here as a threat. It views the fact that it is China that is rising. It is China and the Chinese people that are now rivaling, if not surpassing in so many areas, domains that the United States viewed as its sole legitimate, complete ownership of. Tech, all those areas, all areas of industry. China is now surpassing the US. And that's a huge threat. But I mean, I want to ask people, is this a threat? Like, is what we are seeing here a threat? Are people living well, doing tourism, domestic tourism is booming? Is this a threat? The incredible light show that we see in the background, the fact that what we are witnessing behind us, the Bund, used to be an exclusive zone of Western foreign humiliation of Chinese people, now is a site where people go and spend their well-earned dollars to enjoy themselves and enjoy their, like, is that really the threat here? Because in my estimation, there's nothing about China right now that is saying we want aggression. There's no Chinese people out there that say we want war. It's actually quite the opposite. It's actually exactly as you said. We are witnessing just an absolute humiliation on the part of the United States, trying to wrestle with and put in a chokehold an economy and a nation that they can't control. And I think that's the big issue. They can't control this. People here are not going to bow down and say, oh, yeah, well, the U.S. should just rule over everything. No, they want to be independent. They want to be able to live a better life. And that's the crime. That seems to be the big crime.
I think like the word, like what was trending recently in China the past couple of years, it sounds really familiar on the basketball court. It's like, Fang Bujua, like you can't control me. You can't stop us.
Right.
That's the attitude of the younger generation. They know that, the United States is trying to contain them, but people are already at the point it's like, you can't stop us.
Right.
So let's learn to live and let live. Let's learn from each other. China has been aggressively on the path of development versus underdevelopment and war. Mm-hmm. There are things that I've seen with my own eyes that are so remarkable. I was sharing the story earlier with you about how when I first arrived in 1999, there was one subway line. Yeah. There was only one line in Shanghai. And I'm looking at that line and I'm traveling to Tokyo and I'm seeing these massive subway systems. And that one subway line was so big for this city. There were a lot of migrants taking the subway. So people were fresh out the village. So they're kind of shoving and pushing to get on. It was kind of wild. It was 1 RMB, the token for the ride. In 20 years, Shanghai has now become the largest subway system in the entire world. I think there's nearly 20 lines, I think 18, 19 lines, and they have the longest subway system, the most advanced in the entire world. And that happened in 20 years. Yep. I look at my hometown of Detroit, and in 20 years, we still don't have adequate public transportation. We have no subway line. We don't have any public transportation. And when you talk about the real estate and the housing and all this development, I just looked at a video. You can look up in my alma mater, Michigan State University. We have a residential complex called Spartan Village. Right? This is one of the leading universities. It's like the second largest campus in all of America. And Spartan Village looks like the projects of Detroit. It looks like the Brewster projects. It's completely empty. The grass is overrun. It's abandoned. And the reports are that it's going to take 30 years to redevelop Spartan Village. 30 years just for a residential complex on a university campus with state funding and support and a land grant university at that. They can't even get that straight. And I just saw all this pop up in the past 20 years. So something is not right. Something's wrong. I think that ultimately the corruption in the United States, the overpricing of everything, the grift amongst our politicians, where the money is just not going to service the people and that they're stealing it. And so we have the audacity to kind of criticize and critique and basically hate on another country for getting it right, for actually providing services for its citizens and making life better for them, making life improve.
Right. Yeah, what you're saying, Dana, is incredible. It's the United States, localities in the United States, the entirety of the political system. It doesn't have the ability to renovate a college dormitory in the same period that that China has built the biggest subway system in human history. And I was just on that subway system. It took about 15 minutes to get across the city. It cost 3 yuan, which for those who are not currency experts, and I'm not one, but I do know that it's about $1 US to about 7 to 8 Chinese yuan, depending on the day. But that means that to take a train in Shanghai, you are paying about 50 US cents to get anywhere you want in the city very fast every 2 minutes. And that didn't exist just 20, 30 years ago. And we have in the United States, we can't renovate college dormitories. You see development everywhere in the United States. Even luxury developments take years to build, and then nobody occupies them because who can afford $4, 5, 6, $7,000 a month apartments? Not many people. The 99% people can't do that. So this is the difference. And we're now right by the Huangpu River, right? This is beautiful. So
this reminds me like what Detroit was, like before I was born, when it was the arsenal of democracy, when it had the first shopping mall, indoor shopping mall in America. We had the Detroit River, and we had this boat called the Boblo boat.
Wow.
And it would take people to an amusement park, Boblo Park. Just go online and Google that, what Boblo Park looks like, what the boat looks like, and what has happened, in that short amount of time. Like we've seen, there's like 100 Boblo boats on this river right now, all lit up, entertainment cruises. We can't even have one in the city of Detroit.
Yeah. There are no Detroits in China, right? I mean,
None.
Detroit was destroyed, especially after the economic crisis, but it had been long impoverished. Now, since 2008, it's known as one of the poorest cities, one of the most difficult places to live in terms of living conditions. But you won't find one city in China that has the problems that Detroit has. And that's not because China is perfect or that everything it does is correct. It's because its model of development is different. And that is the big threat, a different model that offers not just thriving business and thriving investment and the ability to make money. You can make money, but it also offers the ability for everybody to be brought up to a standard of living that's dignified. And I think that's what attracts so many people to China. I think the more that the U.S. continues down this path of war, continues to get caught up in major global conflicts, like we're talking about World War III possible scenarios, Dana. The more that happens, I believe, the more that people are going to wonder, well, what's up with China, right? There are a lot more people who want to know more about Russia, want to know what's going on there. The Middle East now, West Asia, I'm sure you've been following the literal genocide happening in Gaza, the regional war that's being inflamed. More and more people are going to wonder, well, what's actually happening in those places? Why are they targeted in the way that they are? But with China, there's already been a decades-long relationship, normal relationship with the United States. And now that's being completely reversed. And more people are going to wonder, why China? And I believe it's going to backfire. I think people are going to start to realize China is not the enemy here.
Yeah, we gotta wake up. We gotta get people conscious. We don't want, the last thing we want is a global war with China. I think, it is going to be devastating for the United States. We're not equipped for it. And I think the people that are pushing us towards war, they don't really care about the consequences because they have their escape valve. They're selling the weapons. They'll probably be happy with a little bit of population decline and sending our poor, particularly, brown and black folk overseas to fight this war. That's what we've always done when we had a conflict with China. We've been at war with China since 1949, since it was founded. We've pretty much surrounded the entire country, and starting from every choke point, whether it was the Northeast when we started with the Korean War, or it was the Southwest with Vietnam, or the whole time that we were in Afghanistan, that's right on the border with China in the Northwest, in Xinjiang.
And Xinjiang borders Afghanistan. And according to Colonel Lawrence Wilkerson, who I had on my channel, and he has insider knowledge since he was working under Colin Powell. He said that a big reason why Xinjiang is of such interest to the United States in terms of stirring up conflict there is because of its border with Afghanistan and because of all the mineral wealth that Afghanistan has, and the fact that if Xinjiang is separated from China or destabilized in any kind of way, then China can't move westward into Central Asia, into the rest of Asia, and that cuts it off from its Belt and Road Initiative. It makes it very hard for China to become the powerhouse in Asia and the rest of the world that it is quickly becoming. So there's an agenda here that is very concrete and very real. And I think you're right. It would be devastating. It is already devastating for the United States to be doing this. But what baffles me, Dan, and we can close here, is the fact that, of course, the elites, of course, those who are fueling geopolitical tensions, wars, and conflicts all around the world, they don't care about the consequences, but it's almost as if they believe they will survive a nuclear conflict with major powers like China. The reality is, and Zhang Weiwei, who I recently interviewed, said this. He said, nobody wins that. No. Everyone dies.
Lose.
We don't win it. The rich, the elites, they don't win it. Nobody wins it. Everybody loses because the earth will be uninhabitable for human beings. So that's what baffles me, is that no war with China can but lead to a nuclear conflict. That's why any country has nuclear weapons. They don't want to fight the conventional wars. China doesn't want to fight any wars. That's why it needs nuclear deterrence. And that's the danger here. The United States doesn't seem to understand that, at least those who make policy.
Yeah, totally agree. Fully understand. And it's surreal we're talking about this tension. And then maybe you saw me smiling because I'm looking around at these people.
Yeah.
There is nothing but smiles
Where's
and laughter
the tension?
and joy. People are just with their family, just living a really good life.
Hold on, Erica, come in here. So this is Erica. She doesn't have a mic, but what just happened? You just got photos taken?
Yeah, you got photobombed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love going on.
But you got, for those who don't know, this is my best friend Erica from back home.
I'm trying to find the pictures.
Oh, well, they're, what do you call that? Polaroid.
Yeah, I was just chilling right there.
Polaroids, and then somebody was like, hey, can I take the pictures?
Yeah,
and
they gave me these two. Yeah.
so there you go. It wasn't
so nice.
It
right?
wasn't embarrassing. It wasn't harassment.
No, yeah.
That's it. People. I mean, let's look around us. I mean, do we sense war, geopolitical tension here? Do we see? I'm an American. Me and Dana obviously look like foreigners. I mean, let's be honest.
The three of us do.
Yeah, but like
nothing but love.
Nothing but love.
Nothing but love in Shanghai.
If anybody wants to bother you in China, they're gonna be asking you for a picture, and that's about it. That's about it. No, there's none of this hate that we see in the U.S., where people who look Chinese are harassed or violently attacked or whatever because of U.S. war, foreign policy. None of that. This is the land. I mean, really, China's the land of peace. Dana, you have any final words?
Love and light. Come visit us in Shanghai. Come visit us in China. Stop the war in China. We got to spread this love, and we can do it through people power. So that's my final words. Come get with us.
All right, everybody. That was a great show with Dana, Showtime Burton. Good to be back with them. Good to be back in Shanghai. Hope you enjoyed the views. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Over and out. Thank you for tuning in to my latest video. I appreciate all of your support. This channel, however, needs your help. I am seeking to make this channel more sustainable in the long term and upgrade necessary equipment to ensure that this work continues onward and makes progress to give you all of the geopolitical analysis that you all deserve. For that reason, I'm asking you to become a member of my Patreon community at patreon.com/DannyHaiFong. You can find that link in the video description or in the pinned comment below. For whatever amount you choose to give, just know you are supporting independent media that you can't find anywhere else. Thank you so much, and I look forward to the next video.